So I turned on the news today and I saw a news report about a 12 and a 14-year-old getting shot and killed in Washington, D.C. Now, I don't live in the city, but I live right outside the city. We call it the DMV. Now, the most surprising part about this story is how much I wasn't surprised. The most shocking thing is how much I wasn't shocked. Not because I lack empathy, but because me and a lot of us have become so desensitized to these type of stories because how often we hear them. Now, in the story, as usual, you have the mother crying. You got neighbors and community members saying how much we need to stop the violence and how we need to create things for kids to do in different rec centers. And to me, boredom is that's not an excuse for being out killing people. I'm not gonna go out and shoot and kill people because I'm bored. That's not an excuse. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I think what does need to change, and this is for people mostly in their 20s and their 30s. I think we need to start back encouraging young people to get married before having children. Okay, there was a time when even if a boy got a girl pregnant, that he had to marry her. Whether he loved her or not, you had to marry her because you got her pregnant and y'all having a child together and y'all need to be married. There was a time for that because they understood how important it was to try to build a stable environment for this child. I think that these days, especially in the black community, that a lot of younger generation are not fully aware or fully understand the long-term negative effects of a high out-of-wedlock birth rate. When you have all these kids being born out of wedlock, it causes a lot more problems than you think. Let's be honest, when you go to a neighborhood where there's a very low crime rate, one thing you tend to notice is the community tends to have a much higher marital rate. Most of the households are married most of the time. You'll notice this. Anytime you go to a fairly middle class or upper class neighborhood where the crime is fairly low, the first thing you'll notice is the majority of the people living in that community are married. Now, if you go to a community that's very poor, there's a lot of violence, there's a high crime rate, what do you see? You see a lot of single parents, specifically single mother households, people not getting married. And I feel like we need to start encouraging young people to start getting married before having children. And if you do have children, you need to, if you do get pregnant with somebody who you're not married to, you need to marry that person. And some people are going to disagree with that. I get that. But I think that marriage is more than just love. I think there is practical reasons for getting married outside of just love and emotions. Building a stable household. At least get married and try to build a stable environment for this child until they reach a certain age, at least.